Can guys and gals be friends?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Would you be okay with a guy that you're with, that you adore, having female friends, hanging out with an ex, somebody that he was engaged to 5 years ago?
As long as they have not dated in the past. If they've dated in the past, that's a different thing.
Okay.
But if they've always been friends, you kind of have to vet that situation and feel the vibes, because sometimes it cannot be okay. But if you could tell it's just a friendship, maybe hang out with the both of them, see how, don't let him only hang out with her by without you. That's
what if she's hot?
That's fine, as long as, she's not gonna, if they've always been friends, or how did they meet? If they met under weird circumstances, you have to know, you can't just
so there's
go
limitations.
in that blindly.
It's
you can't, yeah.
If there's romance, potential for romance from the past or in the future, it's a no-go zone, right?
It's strictly how they act with each other in a situation.
Yeah.
I had a boyfriend who had plenty of girlfriends, and I only had a problem with one of them.
Exactly.
Because she flirted with him blatantly in front of me all the time. And that's where I draw the line.
And then if they don't want to cut off that relationship, then it's okay, why are you holding on to that then?
And the same thing in that same relationship, I had one friend that he was like, I think he's flirting with you. And I wasn't friends with him anymore. And it goes both ways. But like I said, he was friends with tons of other girls, and I was completely fine with it. Met them all, didn't even meet some of them. Didn't matter. Didn't care. But
I'm assuming that you would all be okay with abandoning male friendships if he said, hey, look, I'm fine with committing to you and I dig your vibe too, but I just don't take a woman seriously if she hangs out with guys a lot.
It depends. I have a guy friend that I've had for years and years and years. He has a girlfriend of over 3 years. They've been together, but I've known him since freshman year of high school, and we've only ever been friends. And I've made that very clear. But still, when I have relationships with guys, they aren't super comfortable with that, right? They're okay, all I see is a guy friend. And they automatically think, oh, he's into you. So it becomes a problem. A lot of guys aren't super comfortable with it, but I make it very clear from the very beginning, hey, I have a guy friend. Here he is. Come meet him. Come hang out with him. He's harmless, but some people are not going to be okay with that. But I wouldn't be comfortable cutting off a friend of that long, and how good of a friend, we've been nonstop for years. So all the, if I have other guy friends, which I do, I stop talking to them especially if they have flirty vibes. If I'm in a relationship, I'm not talking to them. But
you don't think that the guy that's sort of is the nice guy, that's the old friend, finds you attractive at all?
I'm sure he does. I've never had a guy friend that wasn't into me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just a part of being a woman, I feel like. But you work past it. He's been friend zoned, a gazillion years ago properly a million times, right? So it's either they can take it or they can't, and they can move forward with it and be fine. Or some guys can't, and they are okay, if we can't be together, then if you don't like me that way, then we can't even be friends. But some guys are going to be okay, I like you as a person, let's just be friends. It depends on the person.
Spencer, you're a younger man. Would you be okay with your girl keeping a guy friend around?
The problem I have is when it's not usually the guys that hit on you that I think are the biggest danger. It's the guys around you that don't hit on you. Because girls are really good at rejecting guys who hit on them. You get hit on hundreds of times a day, all the time. You're really good at rejecting that. It's the guy who's really attractive that still hangs around as a friend, but doesn't hit on you because he has lots of options. That's the guy that's usually a problem.
Okay, but you're saying a super attractive guy that stays around. What if he's just a normal looking dude or something?
We did also talk about at the beginning, you said that you think a guy cannot be really attractive at the beginning, but you can he can build attraction over time with you.
But usually after you've been friends with them for so long, you lose like that attraction. I don't know.
You do, but I don't think he does. And here's where I can prove you're wrong the vast majority of the time. If you were to hand over your cell phone and say, these are my male friends, and there's like 2 or 3 on there. If I were to take the phone and text message the guy, hey, Bill, I'm horny. Let's get it on. Come over. How many of those guys you think would take you up on that offer?
Most.
That's the problem with keeping the guys around, is because they're usually trying to friend zone their way into your pants or your heart.
But I think it's so dependent.
Thank you for being honest, by the way.
I'm always honest.
I do think that's true, but I also think it's dependent on the way that like the guy acts around you. Like I've had this friend since first year of university, and like there is just such a clear boundary, and like if I texted him, he would not hook up with me. You know what I mean? And so like I do think there are guys that you can be friends with.
You can
set boundaries,
but you have to set the boundaries.
Yeah. And it's how they react around you. But I also know my guy friends that would. You know what I mean?
I think on a balance of probabilities, the vast majority of them would take you up on that offer.
Oh, for sure. But I do know there are some guys that do just genuinely want to be your friend. And I don't think you have to like rule them all out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Some of them are going to be respectful. Yeah.
All right.
The majority are not going to be,
Okay. All right, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.